Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Rahul.
Sir, screen is visible.
It's visible. Where is Vikas?
Let me see, sir. Good morning, all of you. We are here to present on renewable energy sources, geothermal energy. Renewable energy. Renewable energy is the energy which generated from the renewable resources, which can be used repeatedly and does not run out because it is naturally replaced. It is a form of sustainable energy as in the process of generation, there is no carbon and greenhouse gases are emitted, which helps us to reach zero carbon emission and reduce the pollution level in the environment. Now, the question is why renewable energy? Renewable energy is the need of the future as we all know that a huge amount of carbon oxides are emitted in the environment during the process of generation of electricity, due to which there is a misbalance in the biosphere which results in climate change and nature degradation. So it is needed to switch over such a technology which helps us to reduce these carbon emissions, and this is only possible with the adaptation of renewable energy over the traditional carbon-based energy generation methods. It also helps us to reduce the dependency on fossil fuels. Now, types of renewable energy will be carried by our teammate Srigorai.
Good morning, sir. My topic is type of renewable energy, solar energy. Solar energy is a transformation of heat, that energy that comes from the sun. Solar energy is radiant light and heat from the sun that is harnessed using a range of evolving technologies such as solar heating, photovoltaic solar thermal energy to generate electricity. It is utilized by many means like a solar street light, solar cell, solar cooker, which converts the solar energy into desired energy like heat and electricity. Next is wind energy. Rahul, slide. Wind energy. Wind energy describes the process by which wind is used to generate electricity. Wind turbines to convert the kinetic energy into wind into mechanical power. There are certain places in the world where the wind intensity is high, thus provide an opportunity to set up windmills having a turbine on it to provide electricity. Next is energy. Hydropower is a method of sustainable energy production that generates power by using a dam or diversion structures to alter the natural flow of the river or other body of the water. At hydropower plants, water flows through a pipe or penstock that pushes against and turns blade in a turbine to spin a generator to produce electricity. Next is geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is a heat diverted with the subsurface of the earth, water, and or stream carry the geothermal energy to the earth's surface. Depending on its characteristic, geothermal energy can be used for heating and cooling of, or be harnessed to generate clean electricity. Next is tidal energy. Tidal energy is created using the movements of tides in the oceans, where the intensity of water from the rise and fall of tides is a form of the kinetic energy. Tidal power surrounds gravitational hydropower, which uses the movement of water to push a turbine to generate energy. Next is biomass energy. Biomass contains stores chemical energy from the sun. Plants produce biomass through photosynthesis. Biomass can be burned directly for heat or converted to renewable and liquid or gaseous fuels through various processes. Electricity generation from biomass is most cases produced by directly combustion. Biomass is a burn in a boiler to produce high pressure steam. This steam flows over a series of turbine blades, causing them to rotate. The rotational of the turbine drives the generator produce electricity.
Now
Next,
again, we come to geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is an inexhaustible source of energy as is available from the earth crust. It is that renewable energy source which doesn't need any fuel to generate electricity, and the emission connected with geothermal energy is very low and negligible compared to the emission that results from fossil fuels burning. Geothermal energy is gaining importance as alternate source of energy. India's power production is based on coal due to the availability of huge coal reserves in our country. Excessive use of these fossil fuels will have deteriorating the effect on the quality of human life. This is the time to launch its geothermal energy resource program in a big way to implement clean energy generation. Our country has enormous resources which are lying untapped, and so we have to know the technology sources to generate power and support various industries using geothermal energy. There are more than one type of geothermal energy. One is low temperature water and other is high temperature resources. Now, some brief history about the geothermal. The use of Earth's internal crust heat as an energy source began in the early period of 20th century. Electricity has generated for the first time from geothermal steam at Italy in 1904. The spread of the use of geothermal energy to other parts of the world had been rather slow during the first half of the 20th century, mostly confined to the Italy. The utilization of this alternate source of energy has increased rapidly during the last 4 decades. Development of geothermal energy registered the maximum growth rate of 22.5% per 5 year between 1980 to 1990, and a slightly slow rate of 16.7% between 1990 to 2000. Much progress is utilized. This very potential source of energy had been made during the recent years. Now, the factors affecting geothermal resources vary widely from one location to another, depending on the temperature and depth of the resource, the rock chemistry, and the abundance of groundwater. Geothermal resources are predominantly of two types: high temperature, such as found in volcanic regions and island chains, and moderate to low temperature that are usually found extensively in the most continental areas. The type of geothermal resource determines the method of utilization. The most extensive direct use of low temperature geothermal resources is in space heating of individual building or entire districts in cold countries, like in Tibet, where no readily fossil fuels are available. The Nagik geothermal field provides a useful energy source for the local people with the help of binary plant built in 1993. The Indian scenario of geothermal energy, it is observed that most of the places in India do not have the sufficient energy sources and hence to be dependent on the other parts of the country. So geothermal energy may be one of the valuable solution for these states and provinces. It is estimated that nearly 400 thermal springs of low to medium enthalpy exist in India, distributed in several geometrical provinces. The surface temperature of these thermal springs are varying in the range of 47 degrees Celsius to 98 degrees Celsius. And the estimated amount of energy that can be generated from these springs are about 10,000 megawatt. These provinces are the sites where small-scale geothermal power plants can successfully be commissioned to generate energy. Some of the geothermal provinces in India are Northeastern Himalayan province, Cambian province, West Coast province, Sonata province, Bakeswar province, Godavari province, and the Barren Island. Production process of geothermal energy. To produce the geothermal generated electricity, wells 1.6 kilometer deep and more holes are drilled into the underground reservoirs. The geothermal energy can be used to produce electricity through the steam or hot water can directly be fed into the power plants for production of electricity. These wells tap steam and hot water to drive the turbines. The turbines are in turn like to electricity generators. The components of geothermal power plant: production well. As in the figure, we see that a well is digged in the ground from where the and hot steams come. Production well, these are the wells used to extract the geothermal fluid, which is hot water and steam, and are brought to the surface and directly connected to by pipe to the power plant. And second part is the power plant. This comprises of the turbine within the geothermal fluid, rotate the turbine blades and produce electricity as in the general steam turbines. And then the inject valve, it helps us to inject the water back to the ground. It is used to inject the used geothermal fluid and hence fed into the reservoir again without evacuating the earth in inner crust. Now the types of geothermal power plant is taken over by our teammate Vikas.
Good morning, everyone. My topic is type of geothermal power plant. There are the three type of geothermal power plant: dry steam plant, flash steam plant, and one is the binary steam plant. In the dry steam plant, it take the steam out of the fracture in the ground and use it directly to drive a turbine. In this, the amount of water with the steam is very less. To directly use that steam to run the turbine. Rahul, change the slide. Hello. In the flash steam, hello. In this, they pull deep high pressure hot water into cooler low pressure water. In the amount of water is more than the dry steam plant. Therefore, you use a separator to separate the water from steam. This is mostly used plant in this nowadays. Rahul, change this slide. In the binary power plant,
Rahul, I think so. He got disconnected.
Let me carry on. Binary power plants. In this geothermal, water is possessed through the heat exchanger where its heat is transferred to the secondary liquid. Liquids having lower boiling points are used as secondary liquids such as isobutane, isopentane, and ammonia water mixture. The vapor of the secondary liquid are used to rotate turbines. The binary system is useful in geothermal reservoirs, which are relatively low in temperature. Heat loss is minimum in this system as these are completely closed. Hot water is immediately recycled back into the reservoir, and the working fluid is also condensed back to the liquid and used over and over. So this is the diagram for the binary power plant. Here we can see that a production well is digged, and through the pump it is transferred to the heat exchanger, where a secondary liquid and the hot water exchanges the heat uh, through condensation, and then the hot springs are again injected through the injection valve, and the secondary liquid is then used to rotate the turbine and again condensed to use over and over again. Now the India's first geothermal power plant. The details are shared by our teammate Rishika.
Good morning, everyone. India's first geothermal power plant. On 7th of February 2021, a tripartite agreement between the UT of Ladakh, LAHDC, Leh, and ONGC was made to set up India's first geothermal energy-based plants in Puga, Leh. It would help in tap the potential of natural geyser touching the Puga area, which happens to be 170 kilometers east of Leh. It would providing the round the clock power supply in territory and would lead to a carbon neutral Ladakh. The phases in which the first geothermal power plant will be undertaken by ONGC. First phase. ONGC would drill up to 500 meter to tap steam and hot sulfur water that spew out of geysers. It would help in running power plant up to capacity of 1 megawatt. In second phase, the drilling would be a bit deeper to explore the potential of the thermal reservoir. In third phase, a commercial plant will be set up with the estimated power supply of 2 megawatt.
Sorry, 250 megawatt.
250 megawatt. India's first geothermal power plant. The MOUs are signed between the Union Territory of Ladakh, Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council, Leh, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation Energy Center. Facts about geothermal energy. Geothermal energy's largest producer is United States. It is also generated in more than 20 countries. The largest of the geothermal development in the world in the geysers is in north of San Francisco in California, US. Thank you. Sir, you may ask question.
It is being done. Okay. So you four are only there. So in India, there was a slide where the present scenario was shown. Okay, that is the listed number, right? What is the quantity of it has been installed in India? What was the slide number? I forgot the slide number.
Yes, the Indian scenario.
Okay, yeah, it's nearly 4,000 thermal springs of low medium.
So 400 thermal springs with low to medium enthalpy of capacity up to generation of 10,000 megawatt.
In Ladakh, you know how much hot springs are there? Have you listed that? I was curious to know that.
So actually, that is the reason in this northwestern Himalaya and northeastern Himalayas combined. There are many of the areas, but the important areas are Puga and Manikran in Himachal Pradesh. Puga in Ladakh, Manikran in Himachal Pradesh, which are have a capacity of greater than 400 and greater than 200 megawatt to generate if it is utilized properly.
Yeah. So what would be, we could say that unique thing in geothermal that we have in comparison with the other?
So it is differ from others as we know solar and wind are not available throughout the day, or it is depend on the nature. We also say that geothermal also depend on nature, but its variation is very minimum. As it is the inner earth temperature, and which we all know that it is hotter in our area actually, as in our country scenario, it is the area where the climate is not so cold, so always there will be a minimum range of variation. between the temperatures. So we can utilize these throughout the day, means 24 hours.
Mhm.
So it is the good way, but there are some limitations as the for the uh, drilling the wells. It is very costly, as we have to drill up to 1.6 kilometers to 3 kilometers to get this inner earth geothermal energy, and which cost a huge amount. So it is initial costs are very high compared to other renewable resources.
Okay. So one of the thing you told that it is available for 24-hour period, right? So it can be used as a base load, right?
Yes, sir. In many areas where the temperatures are less, then it is used as small plants are set up to uh, provide the power supply to the local areas, and which is very helpful for those reasons which depend on the other states for their power supply.
Hmm. And the second you told about though it is a costly, it is available throughout the year, right? And
Yes, sir.
another
The year-
unique thing I was talking about, we have in solar, right? You could generate
Yes, sir.
electricity.
A new technique is actually derived. Let me show you. Yeah, this residential heat pumps. It is uh,
Mhm.
uh, a pipe system is installed within 1 point, means 16 to 20 feet deep in the earth, and a heat exchanger with the pumps are set up within the house, and it will help us to uh, ex- uh, means alternate method of the ACs, which we are actually the using in our day-to-day life, and it is more efficient as it consumes very less energy, and the heat is the geothermal heat is utilized for cooling and uh, in summers, and heating system in winters. With the same system, no separate technique is needed, as we all know that heat in during the winters, the ground inner heat inner surface is more heater, and during the summers the inner surface is cool than the surrounding, means atmosphere. So it is very useful in actually it is very useful in the cold countries, as they consume a huge amount of energy for heating their houses during most of the periods during the year. So it is a new technologies that are used in mainly Canadian regions.
Okay, so mm, there was a can anyone list out the disadvantage that is more concern to look on in leaving your cost part? Okay, cost is definitely it is very costlier to extract this energy, but the another
Yes,
disadvantage.
the drilling of wells results in many areas an earthquake, and it also provides in the volcanic regions. Some of the volcanic areas are developed due to this, as we all know that the hot springs are present in those areas where the geothermal heat breaks the surface and comes nearer to the earth ground level. So due to this, some volcanic eruptions and earthquakes are resulted found in the areas where the geothermal power plants are built, and it is also uh, main disadvantage is that it is not built over that surfaces where the geothermal heat or the level of the depth of the geothermal heat is more, as the drilling more deeper will causes the nature degradation, and also some of the factors to the mm, uh, it affects the environment also.
Okay. So in the types you have shown some of the, so what are the types of geothermal we use?
So generally we are using the flash steam plants, as it is with less complexity. But there are three types like dry steam plant, which in which the directly the steam is used to run the turbines. These are mainly placed in the higher temperature geothermal plants with very high temperature. And uh, the flash steam plant is used where there is a medium type of temperature, as the hot springs are used to separate uh, by the some of the springs are condensed during the separator, and again injected to the ground surface and used as turbine. And the newer technique is this binary power plant, in which we are using heat exchanger to run the turbine. Means secondary liquid is used with lower boiling points to run the turbines. So it is of currently three types of plants are in process.
In that part, okay, you told about the um, this binary type and okay, can we conclude in the another format this types of
Yes,
thermal system?
on the basis of construction,
Yeah.
it is some new techniques are also coming, like the areas where there is not a means big reservoirs underground the earth surface. So there are some of the techniques, like they are drilling vertically to some extent, and then they drill horizontally and spreads a chain of pipes to gain the heat from that surface, not the steam actually. They are directly hitting the secondary liquid under the earth surface and then utilizing for running the turbine. There actually the heat exchanger is within the ground. Actually, they are making some techniques which are newer, means they are not so explored actually nowadays, but it will be in future, may it will be helpful for the geothermal industry.
Okay. So these are also classified based on the different closed geothermal system and open geothermal systems. Okay, one of the thing you talked about, that is your horizontal, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Horizontal is direct.
within the earth surface there are some of chain of pipes are installed horizontally to exchange the heat.
Similarly, we have another is your vertically geothermal loop system. Then we have pond. Okay, we have pond in your
Yes,
closed and open loop
the
system.
yes, but in that process, actually in ponds, the heat is evaporated, means exchanged by the environment too. So it reduces the temperature and it is not so useful. So we have to drill within the earth crust, so to gain the heat temperature that are required.
So, what would be the efficiency of this? Would be rather in what range the efficiency of the geothermal?
So as we all know that thermal power plants are run with the help of coal, but in geothermal the same setup is used, but yeah, in this same for production of electricity, but here it is replaced the coal, as coal is used to uh, heat the water to vaporize, but here we are here we are utilizing the ground heat, so the efficiency is very high. But we say that in current scenario, electrical situations, it is around very less of 70 to 7%, and then may it will increase in the near future, but according to now the techniques that we have, it is lesser, so the efficiency is less than 50 percentile actually.
Okay. So I think so you have shown in the starting period the few factors to be known before deciding what is how and where to install the geothermal system. Is there the slides?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The factors that are to be considered.
Yes.
So it is depending on the temperature and depth of the resource, mean the pond area which are located under the earth crust, that we have to consider that also the depth that we have to drill. If it is too high, means too large depth, then the process will be very tough, as and the rock chemistry also we have to know, as if it is a very big rock, or it has no cracks, then it is difficult, and it also results in earthquake scenarios as we break the big crust. So it will we have to consider these things also.
Mm. The geology is other factor is also there to understand about composition and properties of yeah, soil and rock, okay, which could affect the heat transfer process also, right? So we have to see that part. Fine. So all things done. It's okay. It was a great presentation. You have covered. You all have covered all the segment in this. Okay. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Only 1 minute is left. Let it end it. You all may leave. There is only 1 minute left. It will be ending soon.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you for joining.